Hello there, today we're going to make one of my bubble flower beads. We're going to need 2 glass rods, one transparent in a colour and one in clear. We'll need 2 stringers, one in opaque and one in transparent. The opaque stringer I make about 2mm and the transparent I make about 1mm. You'll see me cut the stringer with my pliers. I'm using thermal shock. The stringer is hot, my pliers is cold, which will make the stringer break. I'm using 2 tools other than my lampwork setup today. I've got a pair of pliers that I'm pulling stringers with, and I have a metal poker that I'm going to use to poke holes in my beads. You'll notice me clean the raw ends off my rods. This is so I get lovely clear beads. Let's make the bead. I'm going to make a base bead out of transparent. It's a fairly sizable bead. It's probably about 8mm in diameter. Let's speed this up. Okay, so I'll just quickly check the size. It's probably a little too big actually, but that's okay, it's a tutorial. So I'm going to cut the bead in half by placing 2 dots on the shoulder closest to me. And then I'm going to cut the bead in quarters again by placing 2 dots on the shoulder closest to you. I'm going to show you that. Then we're going to go ahead and place 2 dots forming a triangle next to each of the dots on the opposite side of the bead. The dots need to be of a similar size, the gaps between the dots needs to be a similar size, and that will give you a lovely spacing with your petals, and also the dots can't be touching one another either. So there you go. That's sort of the result you're looking for. Next step is to melt all the dots in. We're doing this fairly quickly so that they spread and start to form a petal shape. Next step is to place a dot on top of each of the petals near the center. So again, it's quite a small dot for this particular bead. You could make those dots bigger and it gives you more color. Again, try keep them a similar size, not touching, and you'll get a great result. I'm now going to melt those in as well in a similar way that we did the first set of dots. That again, melting it in quickly will help to spread the petals a little further. The next step is to poke a hole at the center of each of the beads. This takes a lot of timing and coordination and practice. So what I'm doing is I'm heating each flower, bringing it over to my marver, poking a hole, and I'm doing this on opposite sides of the bead too. So I'm just moving around in halves. There we go. That's all done. Right, the last step is to cap each of those holes with clear. Again, I'll go around and I'll do now that clear rod needs to be almost white hot at the end, and then I'm going to go in, stab it, try and cover as much petal as I can, and then flame cut it off. Go on the opposite side of the bead, stab it in, try and cover all the petals, and flame cut it off. And that's just keep repeating that. Right, there we go, that's them all on. So now what I'd normally do is just wait until the heat sort of evens out. So that's sort of happening while I'm showing you the bead. So I want the glow to go out of that last dot that I put on, that last piece of clear. And then again, we're going to melt it in fairly quickly, but trying to maintain control of the bead at the same time. You'll see me come out of the flame. This is where it starts to round up, and if it's still not rounding up well, I'll pop it back down in, bring it back out of the heat, have a look at it, and pop it back in. A bead won't actually round up in the flame. It'll do its final rounding outside of the flame. And it looks like I'm happy with that. And the glow's starting to come out of it. There's still a bit of a glow there. And at that point there, I would probably pop it in the kiln. Thanks for watching. Let me know if you've got any questions. Bye.